Apple, ticker AAPL. We talked about this recently. Here's the chart that we have here on Apple. It has been great for us. This has just been absolutely great for us. I hope some of you folks have been able to make some money off of this, both of the extended, sustained move that Apple's been doing, but also recently, we really highlighted the 215 break and the 233 target. Now we're above that. Sure looks like what we're going to do next here is target a 260-ish area. This area is derived from the trend line that starts at the bottom of January in 2023. It goes through a bunch of downside supports. It clearly shows where Apple has changed its trend. Now that it looks like Apple has bottomed and is trying to regain its uptrend, this now becomes a target for us if Apple continues to move higher. It is also worth noting here, 250 likely to be a pretty sticky spot for Apple. So I don't think it's all just flowers and roses right up to that 260. We'll see what Apple does here, 250. In the pre-market here, Apple 247. So we're right on that 250 spot. Now, as far as the news, stop me if you've heard this before, but Dan Ives is bullish on it. I'll pinch myself to make sure I'm awake. Apple shares got a boost on Friday, after which Wedbush Securities analyst Dan Ives raised its price target to 310, citing strong early demand for the iPhone 17 lineup. We briefly touched on this a little bit last week. Apple shares rose 3.2% on Friday to 245.50, and they were a little bit higher here today again, despite the market weakness. This extended its 1 month gain to 7.79%, according to Benzinga Pro. Over the weekend, I've said the launch of Apple's latest flagship device is exceeding expectations, with demand trends already outpacing last year's cycle. Quote, raising price targets on Apple to 310 based on the early strong demand signs coming from the iPhone 17 cycle. Ives wrote that on X. Quote, with iPhone 17 officially going on sale, we are positively surprised on the demand trajectory. Units appear to be tracking 10 to 15% ahead of iPhone 16 thus far. Now, of course, this is really going to be important for this to keep up. We definitely want to see these trends keep up into the holiday season. That would be gigantic for Apple. And if the market doesn't fall apart here, Apple likely to test some of those areas we just talked about a second ago. The iPhone 17 series has seen strong consumer turnout in China and India. In China, the Pro Max model, starting at 10,000 yuan or $1,400 US, has quickly emerged as the top seller. In Beijing, roughly 300 customers lined up outside of Apple's flagship store on launch day. Bylighters. Oh, that's good stuff. Just checked. Sorry, the Bears scored again. My bad. Buyers highlighted the larger 6.3-inch display with 120 megahertz ProMotion, a new orange colorway, which they're featuring in basically all of their commercials, longer battery life, and a 256 gigabyte base storage option as key selling points. India also witnessed large crowds in Mumbai and Delhi, with Apple's retail partners offering cashback, trade-in discounts, and bundled deals in order to drive sales. Apple has struggled in China amid pressure from rivals Huawei and Xiaomi, but analysts say that the iPhone 17 could deliver a year-end lift. JP Morgan's Samik Chatterjee noted its demand is, quote, tracking modestly ahead, end quote, of the iPhone 16, while Omida senior analyst Chu Li Zhao projected an 11% rise in shipments in China for the second half of 2025. That contributes to 5% full-year growth. Bank of America Securities also raised its target to 270, citing Apple's strength in international markets and ongoing AI integration. This, to me, is one of the key takeaways here. If you're able to get all of these phones into the hands of consumers, and we see an uptick in this cycle, and then you layer on something that's AI related, that's actually good, even if it's later in that cycle, I think this is going to have a tremendous, maybe even a secondary wave of demand. We'll see. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Apple has clearly been promising AI and innovation for a long time and really haven't delivered. I think that just kind of sets up for another potential positive catalyst if they're able to get that done.